Happy upcoming Valentine's Day. I'm going to share this 0171. So what is going on here with Synth VR? I have a prime time at the center here. It's the main tempo of the entire jam. But then I have an LFO going from very slow, or the LFO is modulating the speed of the prime time from very slow to very fast. So this is the amount. It is going as slow as it can go, and it's going on an upward slope. So it slows from slow to fast. And then I have these spreading out, the speakers. And I was thinking that I would sort of construct a jam going out from the center, maybe make a spiral or a maze or a tree or other shapes with all of these synthesizers in Synth VR. So let's see. I'll go back. Let's create a sequence. I thought I'd actually show this time the creation process, which I just wanted to get that central part started first, but sometime I will do a sequence from the very, very beginning. Control sources, a prime pattern. So I'll take the wiring here, and let's see. The wiring from here to the clock. Then get it started. Notice it is following the central tempo now. I'm going to split that clock out later on with some other devices. But, well, this rack is already getting pretty crowded, but just put stuff outside the rack, you know? In fact, since I was talking about branching, I'll put another little rack here. See, it is as easy as this to make more racks, branches, or whatever you want to do. So I'll do one over here. And then I'll have an audio source and a prime wave. So put this in here. And for this, to try and make it more obvious what is going on, I'm going to try and keep control cables blue. That is, control voltage cables are blue. So the pitch, I'll make another blue cable, and I'll drop it right into here for the pitch. Of course, for us to hear anything, I have to drop the audio into the mixer. I'm going to call this, for my audio cables, I'm using orange and purple as a stereo pair, you know? Even though a lot of these devices are mono-oriented, but when you have the So let's get some different note values here. Oh wow, I'm already liking that. But see, I can switch from major to minor to chromatic. Or no scale. And it's already got that reverb on it. It's got a little medieval sound to it. Maybe I want to add an effect. Wait, not an effect, but an audio modifier, because the prime filter is considered a modifier rather than an effect. Let's see, do I have space in here to make it fit? Just barely. Okay. So the output there, then this from here, also call this an orange. I can think of something rather clever actually. The output from this LFO, it's already being split. But suppose I want to split the output of that LFO again, so I could have that filter opening over time. So I already have it split with one of these little splitters. But I guess I need to make it, see, we'll use now utility connection mods. Okay, see, it's all arranged in a pretty logical fashion. And there's a lot of different connection mods. I haven't even used a lot of these yet. But let's see. So already one of those there. The output of the LFO goes in here. I'm going to keep coloring these blue just to make it more obvious what is happening. All right, then we need to have another blue for this. And I'll just put this on here so it's more obvious that this is coming from here. And now I'll take this cable over here. I can move over here and I will select Filter Modify. Turn up this. I think I'm really going to like this arrangement here because this lets it change over time, and it is a repeating cycle, but that's a nice musical evolution there. It's, see, hear it opening that filter. And in fact, we could do a similar thing with that mix if we wanted to. Sounds good. We'll have another arm or branch or something going off from that point, of course. And the idea is that the central drum here, the central drum beat has no reverb on it, but then we are putting it through a reverb before it goes out to these sections. So the further away from the center you get, the more reverb the stuff will have on it. And the reverb will keep adding and adding and adding as more mixers go out in every direction. And this sort of thing could be confusing if you just suddenly walk into it. But if you just understand that the sound or the control voltages or whatever flows like water down your wires, just keep that in mind as you are programming, and things will go fine. And in fact, you can include documentation things if you want. I haven't really done that yet, but I should probably start, considering how complicated things are going to get pretty soon. So then another control source, another prime pattern over here. And again, I'll come over here. Maybe a different timing. May have to do another splitter. You know what? Because this is going to require a lot of splitting, I'm going to start to do, see. Sometimes when I'm creating a bunch of things that I'm going to use multiples of. I make a bunch of them in a row, take them out of the box. How much nicer is this than in the real world, of course, when you need a cable? You say, I have to go to the store or something like that, or I have to order it from a mail order or something like that. And we're pretty lucky in this modern, postmodern world that we can order things so quickly and get them, depending on how much you want to pay, quite soon. But all right, so let's keep this in sync also. Drop this into the clock. Then maybe I need another rack. I tried using the multiple racks in this context, but they don't. I could split it out both directions. Why not? I thought the right balance of chaos and order in everything is artistically interesting. And there's nothing to say that you have to have any chaos at all in things that you do, but a lot of artistic things, that's what makes it interesting, is some balance between chaos and order. So got the pitch, and then we'll drop it into the mixer over here. Change that purple. Might be kind of a problem to not have it. Oh, that's nice. You can look through things like an X-ray if you need to see them, what is going on with them. In this case, have something different than all of those things. Control sources here. There, all right. So an LFO, not connected to the main one. You might as well have a bunch of LFOs going into everything, right? Seeing all the different waves you could have. Fun to watch it. I sort of wish that it would actually rotate the knobs so you could see them rotate. That would be fun to look at. Very slow. So it's turning out pretty nice. So I was talking about adding more branches to the overall thing. How would I go about doing that? All right, I'm gonna grab this, bring it with you wherever you go, and suppose I want to take it off in that direction. So I'll rotate around, and then I'm going to take a rack and make a nice single rack. And I will put it right here. And because I like the aesthetics here, I'll sort of put one of these here almost as if it were like a bending hinge or something like that. Like the arm, the elbow joint or something. And then I'm going to have an audio modifier, a mixer, another mixer. How many mixers does one person need? Well, in this case, as many as you want to have. I have a lot of mixers, of course, not as many as some people. All right, so the left cable is going to be orange, and I've been saying that the right cable would be purple. So then, keeping with this idea here, we'll have another speaker over here, and this is one of the areas where VR really shines, is the possibility of having as many virtual speakers as you would want to have, because they're all sort of theoretical. They're in the world of cyberspace, so you don't have to have them as physical objects. I mean, your ears and my ears only hear stereo, but every time I turn my head, the position of these things seems to change. So supposing I want another drum section over here. So let's see. Output. Set this to purple, keeping with you could use cables of any rainbow color that you want, but I'm going to carry this cable. Another advantage of VR is you're not limited by the length of the cable, because these are infinitely stretchy. They will stretch out wherever you want to go. So maybe I'll have a 3 division over here. So I'll pass over here. And so far I don't hear anything from my thing quite yet, because I still need to plug it into a speaker. Okay. I'm wondering how we can get more samples into this program. I was looking around on the hard drive, and I was wondering where are the samples stored so I could put more folders in, and I haven't seen it yet, but maybe the answer to the question is just the one place I haven't looked right. So I have successfully added one more arm to the thing. And modification to the control is blue, right? Turn down the frequency way low. Maybe another drum. Let's see. And suppose I have, this is going to get a bit unusual here, but what if I have this not going into the trigger, but going into the external clock of this one? So then, yeah, it's still the same. That's great. But I should be able to divide this then so this is happening half as often. So that's all right. That's happening over there. Sort of making a number 7. And then this is making a tree branch and going off in this and that other direction. So maybe one more branch over here, right? And for this one, maybe I will have a branch going back towards the center. End up in a strange boomerang. All right, create, back, have another, look up at the sky. I was trying to get, did I succeed in getting a sort of sunrise effect to happen as the tempo goes up? Maybe I did. Like the sun would seem to rise in that thing as the tempo goes up. I hope that is working. All right, then I'm going to bring out another single rack here, just because when I'm doing something like this with all of these weird angles, I don't really want it to I want to be able to see everything that's going on inside each one of these things, so I don't want it inwardly sort of tilted like that. Oops. Grab the right thing. Use this like it is a bending elbow or something. Then this output, and we'll call this an orange. See, it all makes sense. Audio modifier, another mixer. I would love a mixer that had a lot more channels, you know, sort of like a multi-channel venue mixer, or you could have a DJ battle mixer also, or something like that. You know, 2 channels with your crossfader, or 4 channels with your crossfader. So this is good. Maybe I will grab this entire rack and turn it around, because each rack has a top and bottom side, And you can't put the modules in upside down. Not yet, anyway. That might be fun to do, to be able to put them in any direction you choose. So it's about right. So you don't have to worry about support or other things like that. Had fun making the octopus a while ago. And this I'm going to work on over a while and sort of show all of the parts of it. Turn myself around in reality again, so I'm facing the right way. Okay. So, control modifiers yet again. Control sources. Where is the sequencer? All right, well, we'll just have another prime pattern here. It's turning out better than I thought. Or, actually, it's turning out just as good as I hoped. I'll phrase it that way. Good to have a positive expectation. Just envision how you want things to turn out, and maybe they will. Another thing I might have done is have another color just for timing cables. That would make things a bit more clear, but oh well. I guess I've already kind of started on this crazy journey in this way. You know what? I'm going to leave these here as a purely aesthetic thing. They'll just be hovering. Why not? I hope that if they're not plugged in, they don't have any, they won't drain the resources of the processor. Let's hope. Another nice speaker. Wow, it looks like a large area, but pretty soon it's going to be all full with all the stuff. So what is this going to be controlling? Maybe just a simple lab OSC. So, no, that's not good enough. All right, close it. Goodbye for now. Prime wave, I like being able to shape it like that. Pitch, and the output to here. Oh, I don't have a nice reverb on this thing yet. And one thing I was trying to stick with was a reverb in every area. So, having left as orange, this is prime space in outer space. I'm liking the sound of this. And I'll have another rack like this. We'll have it coming back inward. So I was thinking it would be like a drum circle maze or a pretzel or something like that. Just let it go wherever it wants to go. Coming back inward. This is a very good start for this project. Perhaps it's allowed to have other branches. Maybe this little thing is going to grow another branch over here. So, right here. That slowing down and speeding up adds a lot of interest to this jam, I would say. And you know what? I'm going to save it. Save often, because especially with a new program, you never know, right? So I'm going to see, where is it? Settings, save. I'm going to save it to slot number 5. Confirm. I haven't also found where the save files are, because I'd like to save a lot more than 5, you know? Just because I've been doing synth editing on apps for a very long time, and I've gotten in the habit of saving a lot. Multiple versions of every interesting project. And the thing is, you can always go and erase those extra saves if you want. But if you didn't save, and you make a big change and suddenly things go wrong, or you suddenly find a way that you really like the project to go, and you can't remember what it was, then that is those save files are your insurance. And the thing is that as long as you're saving sort of these pattern files, you're not resaving the audio files or anything like that. It doesn't waste a lot of hard drive space. So that is good. Who knows, maybe that thing over there, I'm going to create I don't want to have it go down too far, because my VR doesn't work that well near the ground. But it could start to go in a maze going downhill over here. I am going to finish this video for now. This is VJ Franz K, and we're going to watch this thing evolve into a interesting branch. And the Valentine's Day theme, how am I going to tie this back to Valentine's Day? Well, it's like a heartbeat, you know? And maybe when you see your special someone, your heartbeat starts speeding up, you know? Well, that is the beat of this jam is speeding up, and that's every EDM DJ is always having beats that increase in excitement until the drop or something like that, even though they don't change the tempo nearly as drastically or as fast as this. They just change the excitement level of their mix or some other thing like that. But please subscribe to VJ Franz K here on YouTube, and consider becoming a Patreon supporter of me, because I like to do this a lot, and it certainly helps me get more studio equipment and gear to actually use in these videos. But in this virtual world, you are allowed to make as much gear as you want, as much gear as your computer can actually handle, even though you have to have a powerful PC to be able to run VR in the first place. That is sort of the barrier to entry. And then another thing is, a lot of people just don't realize the potential of VR yet. They think it is some kind of gimmick. But the thing is that they thought a cell phone was a gimmick. They thought flying an airplane was a gimmick. They probably thought going in a car was a gimmick. Having electric lights instead of torch lights or gas lights, whale oil, whatever. The whales are, of course, our friends and equals on this planet with their brilliant intelligence. We shouldn't interfere with them the way that we do. Putting down another pattern. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. And I'm going to add to this a lot more, but I think I'll upload this to the Discover Zone. Share, what number is it? It will be calculating. 0172. All right. So if you want to look at exactly what I've been doing here, feel free to do that. And anyway, thank you for watching.